it's Diana. I have just given an update on my health. I have my, I've gotten from a, they took me off. I had a sleep study done about 4 weeks ago. And no, really, yeah, about 4 weeks ago. And I finally got back, my doctor finally got back with me and she says, well, there's good news. I go, oh, really? What great, what is it? Because, for almost nearly 10 years or more, I've been sleeping with a BPAP machine, which is a respirator. And there's a CPAP, which don't have the humidifier because but my get dry nose and right up in here, and it gets really dry and bloody. And so I went and we couldn't get a new BPAP machine from the old dealer people that's been taking care of that. They lost my records. So I talked with my doctor, and my doctor says, let's try a new company. And I had to do another sleep study. Well, I did my sleep study, and they called me back, and they said, I don't need the respirator, the BPAP machine anymore. And I says, that's awesome. And then she says, you just normally snore. I go, okay. I never seen that. And then it feels like something biting me. Nope, not biting me. It's just an itch. And so, but she says, you're getting oxygen instead. What happens is I got a curvature, I got osteoporosis, and I sleep in a fetal position at night. So that my mom did the same thing. And so it limits your breathing. It really does, because your ribs are crunched and they don't expand when you breathe when you're sleeping with a curvature and then also in a fetal position. So the oxygen, I didn't really know how bad I was. It's only on a 2, but it worked wonders for me. I tell you that I've been having headaches. I've been having a lot of headaches, and my eyes hurt sockets. My eye sockets hurt really bad. I would have rapid eye movement, and as soon as the next that I stayed, I thought maybe because your brain lacks oxygen, you'll go through hallucinations, and that I think caused a lot of my anxieties. It wasn't hallucinations, but I'm not focused. And that is something different. But I'm going to tell you, I had got on that oxygen machine, stayed on it all night long. My eyes wasn't going through that rapid eye movement, and my headache went away. And I go, well, no wonder I've been sick for such a long time. I have been lacking oxygen at night. And so I've been starving the brain, and then you starve your whole entire system. If you starve your brain, you're starving everywhere else if you don't have oxygen. You know what I found out? The only part of your body that don't have a blood supply and is your your uh, corneas or irises. No, corneas. They don't have any blood supply. They get oxygen directly from the air. I go, you mean they're breathing on their own? Well, that's my changes in my health part. But my medication had to change, and that was my medication for my depression. My depression medicine wasn't allowing me to focus anymore, and we can't hype that one up any further. So, and plus, if I hyped it up, I have a allergy reaction of facial twitches all over my face. I never had that before. I've had swollen tongues and swollen lips, and that's from all 3 different types of medicines that I had to suffer from to find out I was allergic. Okay, well, that depression medicine is totally different from the last one. It's a capsule instead of a pill. And what I'm finding is that I'm really short tempered. I have never been short tempered like this before, but unless I was going through menopause about more than 20 years ago, well, about 30 years ago. I mean, I'd snap off at the drop of a hat, and then I laugh, and then I cry, and I can switch temperaments. That's the way it was back then. But with this medication, it's not switching temperaments because I don't, you know, it's harder to be happy than it is to be angry. That's this kind of medicine. And it's just because I've not adapted to it yet, and I got to give it time. But oh my, this temperament, I am not focused at all. Oh, yeah, that another thing is that I can't focus on anything. My eyes is just roaming around all over again, but not rapid movements, but where they just look around and I can't focus. I just can't focus. I can open up a refrigerator door knowing I need water and not focus on the refrigerator and remembering I need water. It has no end. I mean, that is the pills. The temperament is really bad. Oh my God. I laid into my son. It's not really his fault. He called just like he normally would. But the bad thing, it was on my 70th birthday. And I don't know if it was because I was, you know, it was another milestone for me. And I'm amazed that I lived so long. I thought I wasn't even going to make it past 30 and then 40 and then 50 because I'm from Kansas City, Kansas. You don't live that long. I mean, we don't live that long if anywhere. People get sick and die, and kids die all the time over there. They're getting killed or whatever. And I lived in the rough part of town over there. So I really didn't think I was going to make it. And I didn't think I was going to make it every moment of my childhood. I thought I was going to get killed. So it was a fear I think I had in my entire life, but it isolated me. I think the safety net was because I was always told to go to the bedroom when I was a kid. And so the bed was my safe place. No one bothers you if you stayed out of the way. But yeah, I think that's why I keep retreating to the bed a lot. It's because I feel secure, especially when I lay a couple blankets over my lap. I had to gone through a lot of severe and emotional things going on when I was a child. I lived on Rainbow, and it would be the worst snowstorms. We went to St. Agnes Elementary School over there. Well, the elementary, you only go up to 8th grade, and then you go up to Bishop Age. But from 4th to 7th, 4th to 7th grade, I went to St. Agnes. No, 5th to 7th grade. I went to St. Agnes. But we wore skirts. We weren't allowed to wear pants. And I had to walk all the way from Rainbow all the way to St. Agnes on Mission Road. And that wind would blow right up your dress. My thighs and my legs would get so chapped from the wind burn. And then had to sit there all day long at school with my legs burning from the burn just to go back home in that wind. So being covered and staying warm is a comforting feeling for me. That it's amazing what things happen to you in your childhood comes back at you in your older age, but that has to do with your brain shrinking and your memory regresses back to your better times, in the day. At my heyday, it was back in the late 60s and early 70s. I like that. Those years were really good. I'm a hippie. I had the headband and the leather vest and the bell-bottom pants. I made my own bell-bottom pants. I couldn't find those bootleg pants anywhere. But I still wear bootleg pants to this day. 34s. I have such long legs. My son has the same length in his legs. I see it in my daughter and my granddaughter has got those long legs. I only got one son that's got short legs. It's got 32-inch inseam. So, but they have longer torsos, so we're just the same height. I just got the long legs. I got granddaughters that's got long legs. And I see my body shape in them all when they're growing up. But yeah, my temperament was gotten really bad, and it just takes a hair trigger. I didn't get up in time to answer the phone for my birthday wish from my son, and I called him back and snapped off at him. He caught me at the worst time of the day. I don't take my meds until about 10:30. I'm at the tail end of wearing off my meds, and he caught me at the time I was worn off my meds. So I nailed him. Oh, you can leave these right here, baby. I didn't. You got them out of that. Did you get them out of that tub down there?
They was in a box by themselves.
Okay, but they were in the tub, right?
No, they were in a box.
Okay, because if they were in a tub, I want to leave them in the tubs. Okay, he brought some dolls up here for me. And this one's a really weird one. I want to bring her over. Look at her eyes. I had her sitting on top of my refrigerator forever and a day at the other place because I spook people like that. I just do. I just, that's the way I did it with my sisters when I was a kid. She would be on the bed. That my two sisters would sleep on the same twin bed, and I sleep on the other twin bed because I was the oldest, and of course I was long, and the two girls would be sleep on that bed. Well, we went and seen The Hand, the movie The Hand, way back, the original one, and so after a couple of days, I never do it right away, but after a couple of days, I dwell on these things and I go, what can I do? My brothers and sisters are the same way I am. So don't think I'm the only one like this, but this is how we entertained ourselves. And so I slid my body underneath their bed. And when they got in bed, they didn't know it. And then when they were ready to go to sleep, my hand came up between the wall and the mattress. Scared the holy wee out of them. I was only about 9 years old at the time. Not even 9, I maybe 8. Oh yeah, I could easily slip under that bed, and I did it. I got a birthday doll. I don't like dolls. I mean, back then they were do-nothing toys. They weren't interactive. I didn't have the imagination to say they were real. I'm not going to play house with those dolls. Now, if I have dolls now, that's because if I regress, they're going to help me with staying more alert because dolls will help that with seniors. They have that, nurturing ability. I raised children, so I bought baby dolls that look similar to my babies when my children were babies. And so if I regress, that's, that it's going to help me a lot to stay more alert than to sit in a wheelchair and stare out down the hallway all day long at a nursing home. And that's what they do at the nursing home. I put my mom in the nursing home. I put my grandma in the nursing home. Had to do it because they, with grandma, she had Alzheimer's so bad, but you can't leave the gas on a burner on the range. She had one of those that you had to strike a match and light the burner. This pilot light would always go out. Well, that scared me more than anything, was that she was going to blow up the house. Well, with the coffee pot, she don't ever remember turning off that coffee pot, and that coffee pot will burn up on the coffee. It didn't have an automatic turn-offs back then. You had to turn off the coffee pot when it was done. It's keep the coffee warm, but then when it gets down to the bottom, you want to turn it off, and so let it get crusty and dried and everything. So Grandma did, she got to be, I had to put her in the nursing home when she was 88 years old. I just couldn't take care of her and Mom. Mom was 68, blind and deaf, and I was taking care of her at the same time I'd take care of my mom. I mean, my grandma, and my grandma had Alzheimer's, and my mom had dementia. So, right after Grandma passed away in '94, then I was full focus on Mom. I spent close to 30 years taking care of Grandma, going and visiting her, cleaning her house, and doing whatever catch up. I didn't care too much for my uncle who lived there at all. But with my grandma, she was my heart. And she was my idol. In fact, she my mentor. She gave me the strength to carry on. I figured, I carrying down that strong will, and I see that with my granddaughters too. They got that strong will. That is from, we were grown that way. So let me get back to where I'm back, because I got ADHD and I can lose the track of thinking. And I go around in circles all the time with my stories. So first it was my son. And then the following Monday, we went to go to get my driver's license renewed. And my husband said the wrong word in the car. Oh, my. It just stirred me up. I told him, nope, let's not talk about it. And so we stopped it, but I was already stirred up. And I went to the driver's license place to get my driver's license renewed. And they told me that this identification card that I got from Topeka, it says registration card of my birth, wasn't a legal document. It's stamped. It's got the seal, everything on it. I got it nearly 40 years ago, so I can take it with me without carrying a paper birth certificate around. But I got it as in, because you can order your birth certificates. You can order hard copy too. Well, I ordered that hard copy 40 years ago, and I carry it around. It's pristine. I keep it in the safe when I'm not using it. And that's, if I need a birth certificate, I pull that right on out. It's an official document. The driver's license bureau didn't want to accept it. I said, it's an official document. One of the tellers says, no, it's not. It says registration card. Duh! My birth was registered. I couldn't let it go. I says, it is. No, it's not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. Yeah, it is. No, it isn't. And then it was the gentleman and the female that was behind the desk, you see. And the gentleman was the one waiting on me, and he was just trying to trump me. And I really hate that when you think you got to say the fucking I'm sorry. Say the last word. I'm going to have to bleep that, I think. I don't know how to do that, but go bleep. I don't know. I have to see if I can do that. But anyways, he was saying, I worked here for 27 years, and that document has never been accepted. I said, I've been coming here longer than you've been working, and yes, it has. No, it hasn't. Yes, it has. No, it hasn't. And then she speaks up. You're allowed to say whatever you want. I know I can. I'm 70 years old, and I'm going to do it. And I said that. And so it is a document. No, it isn't. And he looks at her and says, no, it isn't. I said, sir, and I looked at him, you're a damn liar. And I walked out the door. I'll go to another driver's license bureau tomorrow. But, oh, he pissed me off. And I mean, I raised a stink in there. I don't lower my voice when I talk direct. The world hears my voice. And it's not loud. I point it where I want it to go. And I'm stern. So I got really pissed at that driver's license bureau. And I know that certificate. He is such. Where they getting these dumbasses off the street who don't have an education, you know? And yeah, right. Yes, it's not because of the immigrants. It's because these two are just downright idiots. That's how I feel about it. And I am still dealing with my temperament. And I have to wait until I go see the doctor because I have to allow this medication to work. In the meantime, I'm trying to stay busy. And I just pray the Lord that no one says the wrong word to me because I will snap your head off and spit down your throat. I told you I'm cruel. I have no wall, no filter. Yeah, I will. I will. You got to be kind to me. And if I ask for just a simple request, please do it. I'm not asking for the world out there, just simple things. And the worst thing is that triggered me the most is that man laughed at me like I was a joke. He's not the first, but I know he wasn't the last. He won't be the last. Because every time I get angry and I get upset, people laugh at me. Oh, they don't say, calm down, we'll talk later. It's all right. Mm-mm. They just laugh at me. Think I'm a joke. Maybe they put me on speakerphone or something. I don't know. But yeah, I feel like I'm a joke. Well, that's how I feel. See, I get emotional. I'm on that medication. And that driver's license guy made it even worse. I don't know why people do that. Feed off of other people like that, thinking like we're a joke. But I'm serious. This medication, I don't know where I'm going to go with it. They say I glanced at pills with this medication, and I said, if I ever want to think about committing suicide, I don't feel bad about taking all those pills in that huge bottle over there. But I'm not going to do it. Because why? Because I'm just feeling rotten because I'm on these pills? See, I'm more sensible than a lot of people take me for granted. But why? But don't take me for granted. I'm smarter than most people. I got 132 IQ. I've been tested. And I don't see why I should be treated like I got a 78, And I don't want people to think I'm ignorant. I'm not ignorant. I got 70 years of wisdom under my belt. And I don't like not being appreciated. Especially from people who thinks they know better than me and they don't know shit. Well, anyway, this is me venting. And I know it's my medication. And I'm going to have to work on a project just to make me feel better. So here I go, kitchen. I've got to go paint you. Alrighty, you all have a good day, and this was my pity moment. Alrighty. Thanks for listening to me.